Dear Baba to you all. Welcome to this gathering to remember Baba and his unfathomable silence, which he began 99 years ago. We will be reading the quotes that Angela has sent out and/or other quotes that we choose. This program is being recorded and will play on Baba's Zoom on Silence Day, along with other videos of or about Meher Baba. In the past, the readers have commented on their quotes after sharing them, and you are invited to do the same today. I will be looking for raised hands, digitally raised hands, that is, and calling on each person. Although all or almost all the quotes will be of Baba's words, I am going to open the meeting with a passage from Baba's sister Mani that appeals to me. It is a letter dated the 29th of May, 1980, and written from Ahmednagar. It appears in Letters from the Mandali of Avatar Meher Baba, Volume 2, compiled by Jim Mystery. And Mani writes, "This is a quick response to your letter and the questions it poses, which I find difficult to answer as Baba's close Mandali never tried to understand Baba's silence. In fact, we were made aware of Meher Baba's silence only by his lovers, who spoke volumes on it in letters and lectures. As to whether Baba has broken his silence or is yet to break it, the answers are as varied as there are Mandali or lovers, but that is of no importance. Baba's silence is so vast, all the answers can be accommodated in it. There is also more than one aspect to his silence and the breaking of it in each heart. And the breaking of it in each heart he touches is no minor aspect. Whatever purpose Baba has planned for his silence or for the breaking of it will take place as he has designed. No amount of our speculation is going to fathom it or change it a bit. If, in conversation with some of your friends, you find that speaking of Baba's silence provides you with an opportunity to tell them about Baba and his life and message of love and truth, then that is fine. But again, to place a greater emphasis on Baba's silence would detract from its purpose, which is to draw us closer to him." And now, in the spirit of drawing closer to him through reading his words, let's begin with the sharing. I'm looking for some raised hands. Well, there was a hand raised, and now the hand is not raised. So I don't know who to call. Now we have it. Bob, let's hear from you. Yes, Bob.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Baba, the quote that I received was just perfect. Your sincere efforts to do your best are enough. You cannot do more. The results are always left to God. Hence, I tell you not to worry. That's just, thank you, Jay Baba.
I agree. That's a perfect one. It's good for every day. Yes, now we have Eva. Yes, Eva.
Jay Baba. So my quote is, as long as one has a body, there will be some needs, and it is necessary to meet those needs. But wants are an outcome of infatuated imagination. There is a world of difference between necessity and importance. Many things come to the ego as being necessary, but they are not in themselves important. Try your best to want less and less. Try loving more and more, and then you will want less of that which is beyond your needs, and you will want more love. Jay Baba.
What a beauty, Jay Baba. Thank you, Eva. Now we have Telly. Yes, Telly.
Good morning, Jay Baba. So I have a quote that also I feel was very appropriate for me. And it it came, the light got shown on it very clearly when I went to India in 1987. And I had an interaction with Muhammad the Must. Let me read the quote, which is, if I can find it. Here we go. It's better to feel angry sometimes than to merely suppress anger. You then have an opportunity to think about anger, its causes, and its consequences. So I'll read it again. It's better to feel angry sometimes than merely to suppress anger. You then have an opportunity to think about anger, its causes, and its consequences. So when I was in India in 1987, I went to Muhammad, which we would do. And to my surprise, I don't know if he did it directly, or the person who was working with him handed me 2 of Muhammad's piss pots. And not only piss pots, but they were used piss pots. They weren't exactly unused. And that began certainly an inquiry in my mind. Well, what really does piss me off so much? And why would it be 2? And that eventually became clearer as I did some work on past life information, and that didn't necessarily explain everything, but it definitely brought into focus that whatever we've done in the past, we haven't resolved it yet. It's just going to hang around until we take a look at it. So not giving into anger has definitely been a challenge, and anger is very generative in what winds up happening in your ego, where you start to blame, you start to deny. A lot of things cascade out of what anger presents, and it's definitely an energy to work with and not to give into, and yet to observe, and yes, acknowledge it's there. And why am I angry in this situation or that person or whatever? So I'm grateful that Muhammad gave me such clear evidence of being pissed off. I'm better at it now. Jai Baba.
Let's hear the quote again, Kelly. Let's hear it again. Jai Baba.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. It's better to feel angry sometimes than merely to suppress anger. You then have opportunity to think about anger, its causes, and its consequences.
Thank you, Bob. I have to put in a plug though for anger, because sometimes anger will fuel me in a good way. So, it just gives energy. And it's all individual.
Yeah.
Kelly, can I just ask, did he say anything verbally? Was there anything associated with those piss pots?
Well, like I said, not directly in India. Muhammad, well, he would say things, but I don't recall that anything was spoken, but something definitely was transmitted to me that was undeniable. And it helped to fuel going into therapy and looking at, okay, why am I so angry? And then, of course, I get angry at Baba. And and then to finally kind of own it, acknowledge it, okay, and then trace it back to certain situations that fueled it, that were the cause. So it is definitely energy, and it can be used positively, and it can be controlled, as it were.
Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
We have Ruthie now. J Baba Ruthie.
Jay Baba, I just have to come in on that as well, Telly. I'm so glad you got that one. Um, I know my husband and I have been going to the center, and the last 2 times that we've gone, it was like the minute we got there, we became these ugly people who hated each other and started all this over the sheets or the food and the refrigerator, and just, oh, it just was amazing. And it was kind of clear since we were at the center, that it was probably just instigated by that man behind the curtain. And sure enough, I felt like he had kind of lanced a boil. So, and that now this stuff was coming out, the infection was coming out from both of us. And it was repressed for me. What I've gathered is it was that repressed anger that we brought to the center together as a couple. And so now we had this opportunity to express it. And the coolest thing, of course, was Larry ran into Jeff, and Jeff had just talked about anger on Jeff Late Night. So Jeff had a bunch of fuel for that fire, and they sat there and talked about it quite a bit, and I got in on it. And so it's a nice tip-off to know that Baba's behind us, Baba's pulling the strings, and that he uses everything, even what we think is negative emotion. It's not. It's an emotion to be used as he says. So thank you, Telly. That was beautiful. Now let's see. Mine says, let me see if I can get it here we go. Mine says, divine love is purely a gift from God to man. It is not only the richest of all gifts on earth or in heaven, it is indeed so rare that very, very few are blessed with it. It is beyond all wishing and willing on the part of man. And I'll read it again. Divine love is purely a gift from God to man. It is not only the richest of all gifts on earth or in heaven, but it is indeed so rare that very, very few are blessed with it. It is beyond all wishing and willing on the part of man. Well, I don't know divine love. That's the truth. There have been times when I have been filled with something that I know is Baba, and it usually is so incapacitating that I can't do anything. I can't speak about it. It's just something that incapacitates me. It just wipes out things, everything. But of course, those little glances are rare. And I have a song that I put Steve Klein's words to music, and it's called Every Now and Then the Master Drops the Veil. And that's kind of how it's been for me. Every now and then I'll get a glimpse, a glimmer, just something that lets me know divine love is there. And Baba has gifted me with some. As minuscule as it may be, I've gotten some. Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you so much, Ruthie. That was lovely. We have Marilyn now. Yes, Marilyn.
Very nice so far, everybody. wish everybody a happy Silence Day when it does come. What's that, 3 more days? So, let's see. I'll read my quote. I never heard this quote before, and it got me thinking. Hope should be fortified by a courage that can accept failure with equanimity. Meher Baba. I'll read it again. Hope should be fortified by a courage that can accept failure with equanimity. Meher Baba. So thank you, Baba, for giving me this one because it really was quite thought-provoking. It was like, well, what does this mean to me? And what can I learn from it? So, let's see. What did I come up with? First of all, I don't really look at things in terms of failure. I don't use that word really. Being a school teacher, I don't think I ever used that word. So when things didn't work out, or let's say, if I was to interpret this for Baba, when he would pull the rug from under my feet and turn my world upside down. And things didn't look so great. How did I deal with it? And what was the best thing for me to resort to? I think I came up with something and I just wrote this down. So I'm grateful to Baba for actually doing this to me. And I wrote, we have to dive deep into our failures or shortcomings, take Baba's name, and at the same time drink deeply of beloved Baba's love, which is the only real remedy for all of our ailments. I should have put illusory ailments. Because Baba's the only truth and he's the only real remedy. And taking his name certainly is a wonderful balm, a soothing balm for me. And holding his hand as well as his Daman. Oh, so here I wrote, so the courage to hold on to his Daman with trust and faith that he knows the end. And everything is already charted out by Baba, and it is up to us to follow his wish. So I guess that would be the way to move forward when things are, you feel like you failed Baba in some way, or things haven't quite met his expectations as you might think. But really speaking, I don't think the beloved would ever use that word towards one of his disciples as a failure. No, no, just another stepping stone towards the path of of uniting with your beloved. So, and he puts those obstacles in the path for a reason. If not, how would we learn and grow, right? Doesn't he say that? But are you thinking of me or of the thorns? I remember that he had one of his singers, I'm not sure if it was Madhusudan, may have been, who he called to come to him to do an arti in front of him. And he had to go running and cross over the thorns in the grass. And he had thorns in his feet. And Baba called him to him and he said, sing the arti. And so he did. And then the next day, Baba said to him, were you thinking of me or of the thorns? And he said, Baba, I was thinking of the arti. So Jai Baba, everybody.
Hey,
Jai
Bob, Ellen, that was beautiful. While you were reading your quote, I was thinking it's about detachment too, because to hope, but still accept the consequences.
And surrender it, give it to him, let him take it, lighten the load. And well, that could be, something really to all of this to really look at. Did I surrender it? Was I able to give it up? But really speaking, you can try your best to do those things, but if it's not in his timing and wish and will, it's not going to happen until just that right moment. And so that's where the faith comes in and the trust. And I have something on my keychain that says, be calm, trust God. And quite often when things may happen, that's what I'll resort to. Be calm, trust God. Baba, I know, I trust you. I trust you. Okay, I'm holding your demand. And I think that will please him. So anyway, I'm not sure there's much more else to say about it. What else is there to say, Baba? What would you like me to share?
You've
Would you
shared.
be willing to read your quote one more time after your thoughts?
Yes. Oh,
Thank
I know what I was going to say about his timing. Because really speaking, I've had so many issues and so many things and so much overwhelm and so much anxiety. And I'm not saying that it's not there still, but diving deep into it, and sometimes he makes you do that, you know. I think he really, you have to pull away and you go deep into something, and you may discover, you know, that he's right there holding your hand as you're struggling the most. So I'm grateful to Baba for being there in that way for me. Many, many, many times he has proven that to be the truth. As he says, I will never leave you. So, and on that note, again, if we don't feel that, that's because that was his wish and will. So there is nothing that has not been of his wish or will. And his timing is impeccable. So what a beloved we have. There couldn't be any other beloved than the beloved Baba. And I'll read the quote again. Hope should be fortified by courage that can accept failure with equanimity. Meher Baba.
Thank you, Marilyn. That was lovely. We have
Jai
Betty
Baba.
now. We have Betty.
Let's see. I will find this one. I have to say hi to Linda and Judy, my homies, out here in Oregon, in Washington. Here we go. Let's see. Even supposing you do have an excuse or a cause of provocation, and your mood is upset in the excitement of the moment, don't stick to that one petty cause and keep on brooding over it with swollen cheeks and a cloudy expression. Immediately after the excitement dies down, try to cool off and forget what happened. Take the cause of irritation out of your mind forever. That's a new I haven't that was a new one for me. I guess I just feel like I don't get irritated often, but boy, I'll keep it in my pocket. Just when I think everything's cool, something will happen, no doubt. So I don't have much to say about it except I'll try to remember it.
Easier said than done, huh?
Yeah.
Would you read it again?
Sure. Even supposing you do have an excuse or a cause of provocation and your mood is upset in the excitement of the moment, don't stick to that one petty cause and keep on brooding over it with swollen cheeks and a cloudy expression. Immediately after the excitement dies down, try to cool off and forget what happened. Take the cause of irritation out of your mind forever.
Thank you, Betty.
I'll be moving closer to family, so I'm sure I'll have occasion to refer to this.
Okay, we have Judy now. Yes, Judy.
Hi, J Baba, everyone. And I love Silence Day. It is such an opportunity to commune in our hearts with Baba. And so I rejoice at this time of year and looking forward to Silence Day. And what's coming to mind right now in my heart is Baba's Jokti. And I feel so blessed this life that I have the opportunity to live and try to learn what it is to be in service to Baba at Mehrabad for many years. And one of my weekly blessings, not duties, was to clean Baba's Jokti every Wednesday morning before giving the historic tour. And it's like, Baba, how, thank you, Baba. So here is the quote that Baba sent to me, which I hope you will all find as uplifting as I do. Divine love will not only introduce imperishable sweetness and infinite bliss into personal life, but it will also be the means by which the new humanity will be made possible. Through divine love, the new humanity will learn the art of cooperative and harmonious life. It will free itself from the tyranny of dead forms and release the creative life of spiritual wisdom. Whew. And it's all divine love that's doing that, which of course is Meher Baba is the embodiment of divine love. My commentary should be silence on this one. Let me simply read it again.
Please.
Divine love will not only introduce imperishable sweetness and infinite bliss into personal life, but it will also be the means by which the new humanity will be made possible. Through divine love, the new humanity will learn the art of cooperative and harmonious life. It will free itself from the tyranny of dead forms and release the creative life of spiritual wisdom.
Jai Baba, what a beauty.
Baba, we've got a lot to look forward to in divine love. So I also, others have said, but yes, have a wonderful, wonderful communion with Baba on Silence Day. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, thank you, Judy. And now we have Linda. Yes, Linda.
Hi. You inspired me to go after you, Judy and Betty. My quote is beautiful. Be pure and simple and love all because all are one. Be pure and simple and love all because all are one. You know, I kind of have an idea of what purity is because I've Just had a new grandson, the fifth in 5 years, and not all boys, three boys and 2 girls. But simple, simple is another. I love it that it's connected to purity here, in Baba's quote, in Baba's saying it. And it's just such a beautiful thought to be pure and simple. And I don't know, and at this age, I feel like sometimes the platitudes of unity and oneness, I know less and less what the heck that means. And I think that's a good thing. But to be pure and simple and love all, because all are one, I guess it would take the master to say it in such perfection. Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba, that's beautiful, Linda. And of course, newborn babies just are so pure and simple that they show us it's real.
I know. I just love it. I'm just in my bliss around a new baby. It's just, I mean, you can feel the freshness from God, this soul entering this body and all that's going to happen to it in this lifetime. I just love it. And then to hang around those babies, when they're naughty at 2, and now 4-year-olds are sassy and 5-year-olds are frenetic. And it's just like, oh my God. And then the new one that was born was only 6 pounds, 3 weeks premature, and he was still really not quite in his body. And he just looked like God incarnate, I mean, it was just so sweet, the purity that emanated from him. It was a treat. So.
When I think of what you're saying, I think sometimes some of the early Mandali who were living with Baba, maybe in Mandalimim, there was some kind of simplicity there, and they were younger people. And they weren't perfectly pure, but they were closer to that purity.
Yes, and the simplicity of their lifestyle, and the simplicity, the complexity of our culture just makes me feel so far from purity and simplicity. Yeah.
Linda,
in this day and age, got to do it.
Linda, in what I'm reflecting on as you talk about the purity of the newborn babies, 5 in 5 years, is their mother, the mother that was nurturing the children that are now adults, that gave birth or are part of the birth process for those babies. And it's just delightful. It's like this beautiful flower unfolding, and then another, it's the next generation coming out. But I'm remembering very fondly you in your nurturing days as the mother.
Thank you, Judy. Judy was another beautiful example of mother in my son's lives, and then my daughter later, Ivy. So she's been a part of my family for many years. Thank you. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. We have Robert now. Jai Baba, Robert.
Jai Baba, everybody. I just want to do a follow-up with this last share. I've been past couple of months or so, I've just been so connected with children, and just walking in the streets of New York. I also frequently connect with children in a baby carriage, and every time I just allow myself to just totally be enraptured by the child's love and beauty, I recognize how much the mother gets so much joy out of that. Mothers absolutely love when people on the street take pleasure in their child, and it's just been so wonderful to have that experience. So thank you for that reminder. Okay, so mine is I know your faults and your virtues, and I will strengthen your virtues and help you to remove your weaknesses. I'll say it again. I know your faults and your virtues, and I will strengthen your virtues and help you to remove your weaknesses. Yeah, this is incredible that I got this at this time. I'm in 12-step program, and I'm in process of working with sponsees, and we've been working with the 6th and 7th step. I don't know if anyone you know the 6th and 7th step. It's all about getting ready to have God remove your character defects and to humbly ask him. 7th step is humbly asking God to remove your character defects. So I thought this was really interesting that this would come up for me right now. And I definitely have to, I've been getting stronger in my relationship with Baba, and I've been challenged. I've been experiencing my own challenges with certain things, and have had to make some decisions, and they have been definitely related to my weaknesses. One decision had to do with moving in. Going out to California. I have a short play that I've written that's in a competition in Santa Monica. And I've had a hardest time trying to find a place to stay at a reasonable price. I mean, the Hilton, I thought I could get in there at a cheap price, but no, it's going to be like $3,000 or $4,000 for 15 days. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I found this place for $50 a night. But there's some questionable aspects to the person. But I was fighting tooth and nail. I got it, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. It's $50 a night. I got to do it. Oh, no, I can't. So I had to get honest and say, no, it's not going to happen. And, it took a lot of courage for me to say, I have to cancel my reservation with you. I don't want to get into the specifics about it, but it definitely was a challenge for me to just say, get honest and say, it's not going to work for me, Yeah, and so I really, really appreciate this. And the other thing I want to say is that I've been becoming more and more aware that the only way for me to have my defects, or whatever we call them, weakness, removed is through a relationship with Baba and with God. With God, there's no other way. I can't do it myself through willing it or forcing it or demanding it or whatever. I need to be surrendered to God, to Baba, and have a relationship. I have to have a relationship. I have to have a connection. It doesn't happen by my trying to understand Baba intellectually. I have to have an emotional connection with Baba. And that doesn't always come, of course, but it does come. It's coming more and more. And I'm so grateful when I'm in that zone of like surrender, and and then it's not even an effort to have my weaknesses removed. They're removed automatically by the grace of Baba. I don't have to do anything. And that's the thing. My ego says, wait, I got to do something. No, I don't have to do anything. I need to surrender and let Baba do his work. And I'm so grateful to, so interesting. I've known of Baba for over 50 years, but I've only recently really tried to really connect with Baba. I hate to say that, but it's true. I have to be honest, of course. So I'm really grateful for Baba Zoom and all of you, and happy Silence Day, everybody. This is gonna be my first time. This is gonna be my first time going for Silence Day. I'm just like, does that mean I can't answer important phone calls? Or what does that mean? Yes, that means I have to not talk. I have to not talk. All right. Still grappling with that one. All right. But anyway, I pass it on to Karthik.
Before we go, Robert, don't you think that we connect with Baba at different levels as we mature in his love and his love grows in us?
Yeah, absolutely. Different. Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
yeah.
I mean, I've had a beautiful painting of Baba right over here, if you can see it. But, for I don't know, 17, 18 years. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So it's beautiful painting. I've had it for a longest time, and I've had a relationship with Baba, but it's getting stronger and stronger. I guess maybe the stronger the relationship I get with Baba, the more I realize how out of relationship I've been with him. I mean, that's interesting. Yeah. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. That's beautiful. I appreciate your vulnerability and bringing it to us today. Open-hearted vulnerability. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Now we have Karthik. Jai Baba, Karthik.
Jai Baba, everybody. As we get into Silence Day week, I'm happy to be on this call and hear these wonderful experiences and quotes. I have a very simple quote, but it really touched me. I was trying to pick something to contribute after I joined the call, to be honest, and I just loved what I read. So here I go. Har Meher Baba ki jai. Oops, lost it. Baba. So hold on. So just as context, I'm currently in Dubai in a car, so I'm not putting my video on, but I've been enjoying listening to all of you. Maybe if there is anybody else doing the quote, please go ahead and I'll come back in as the next one as I look for
Okay.
it again.
But Karthik,
Apologies.
you put something into the chat. I'd like to read it for you?
Yeah, sure. That's not a Baba quote, but you're free to read it as I find my quote. It should be a minute longer.
Okay,
Thank
drive
you.
safely. Drive safely. Okay, in the chat, you wrote, "This is Baba's week as he speaks through our hearts and makes his presence felt in every moment. For us Baba lovers, he just indulges us with him in our thoughts and hearts. We know that he alone exists in this moment, the moment that went by, the one that is coming. His love fills the universe. And as we celebrate this week, the Silence Day, we silently recite his holy name, Meher Baba, with every breath, Jai Baba." And that's a quotation from Karthik, of him, Karthik's words. Very beautiful, Karthik. Thank you.
Yeah, just to clarify, that's not my words. That's the words of Nomita. She sent wishes for Silence Day week from Singapore, Nomita Dhar. So I put that in the chat as well.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I found the quote I wanted to read. So here I go, and I quote, "When I say I am happy by your desire or willingness to obey me, you have already received my blessing that you will be able to do so." End quote. And that's for all of you who are thinking, should I maintain silence? Oh, I have this meeting on that day. Should I do it? Should I not do it? That's for you. And I read again, and I quote, "When I say I am happy by your desire or willingness to obey me, you have already received my blessing that you will be able to do so." End quote. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai Baba. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, at this moment, I don't see raised hands, but Bob and Eva, both of you, I neglected to ask you to read your quotes again, and I thought maybe we would take this moment. Bob, would you like to read your quote? Because we heard it only one time. And if you wanted to add any more words, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, thank you. The quote that I received is, "Your sincere efforts to do your best are enough. You cannot do more. The results are always left to God. Hence, I tell you not to worry." I'm going to read it one more time. "Your sincere efforts to do your best are enough. You cannot do more. The results are always left to God. Hence, I tell you not to worry." That was just so meaningful for me because I you'd think as old as I am, I would have learned something about not worrying by now, but I have not. I mean, it's been a constant theme in my life as far as I can remember. Even worrying about the smallest things that are absolutely inconsequential. They don't make any difference at all. It's just junk. It's mind junk. I can even look at them and say that and laugh sometimes, but but the worry is always in the background somewhere. It's the game that my mind plays. And even with these tiny, tiny things, Baba always works them out. And then the worry goes away, and it's like, how much more evidence do you need, Heart of Bob? Come on, just stop. I don't know. It's been a constant theme, and so I'm just so grateful for this. And then at the beginning of this session, I turned to a file of quotes that I have, and of course, the first one that came up is also on the theme of worry, so I'll read that one as well. Don't worry. My love will give you that strength and conviction which makes you feel that you belong to God. Seek truth with all your heart, and Baba will help. I am in this world to help people to love God, to find Him, and to see Him. So, Jai Baba, thank you all so much for your beautiful shares.
Can you reread your first quote?
The first, yeah, sure, Marcia.
Yeah, thank you.
This is the one that I received. Your sincere efforts to do your best are enough. You cannot do more. The results are always left to God. Hence, I tell you not to worry. So, Jai Baba.
I love that one big time. The word sincere is just jumps out for me. I think if we trust our own sincerity,
Yeah.
what else can we do? Thank you, Bob. Before I move on to Rosalie and Marcia, I just want to give Eva also a chance. We only heard your quotation one time, Eva, and I was wondering if you would read it again. And then if you want to, you can comment or just leave it alone.
Sure, I'd be happy to. And as long as one has a body, there will be some needs, and it is necessary to meet those needs. But wants are an outcome of infatuated imagination. There is a world of difference between necessity and importance. Many things come to the ego as being necessary, but they are not in themselves important. Try your best to want less and less. Try loving more and more, and then you will want less of that which is beyond your needs, and you will want more love. So as far as comments, I think I'll take a cue from Baba and keep silence, because no one says it better than he does. It's sheer perfection. So Jai Baba, and thank you for your loving shares. They really lift me up. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Eva. Yes, we have Rosalie now. Yes, Rosalie.
Jai Baba, I love Silence Day. I've loved it every time. I remember when I was in the workforce and I'd say, well, I'm going to come to work as I always do, but I'll be silent. And I was just hoping they wouldn't ask me to come to work. Sometimes they just say, no, stay home. But a lot of times they want me there, and it was so funny, you know. Anyway, this is a quote that comes to me this year so many times, and I thank Baba for saying this. Hold on to my demand. Remember that I love you so that you can reflect my love. Be loving towards all. Be honest, simple, natural, childlike. I especially like the childlike, because the Mandali were childlike. They were childlike. You know, they were children. Baba was that was their life. They didn't do anything. They didn't initiate things. So they were children, you know, beautiful children. And the one other quote, and it's from the Blue Bus time, Meher Baba, it's 5 words. And boy, I might get a tattoo. Oneness is rest in being. And it's written, of course, oneness with the capital O. Rest is a capital R, and being is a capital B. And I walk around singing it to myself because my joy of being in the pandemic was Mayor Baba is God has to be manifested. And you know, he starts it, see me live in you in small ways of life, small ways. The everyday ritual of selfless harmony. So that would be my day. You know, I just think there isn't me. I mean, there is me substantially, and I feel it, but he lives our life. We don't have our own life. We are that one. And so when I can walk around singing oneness is rest in being, it's just like a relief because, you know, I'm among the aged now because I'm in my 80s and you like to take a nap. You know, you like to take a nap and you're not, and the US doesn't honor it. No, you better go to Mexico or Italy. They all take a nap, but here you don't take a nap. And yeah, and also the awakener is manifesting, so you don't take a nap, you know. So, but just as he speaks a word, those 5 words, I heard them, you know, it's oneness is rest with a capital R in being, capital B. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Rosalie.
I have to show my little bit of the blue bus. That was said during the blue bus time. And this was given me by a friend. And it's very crowded if you look inside. Crammed. People are crammed in there. And it used to be green. She painted it blue. And there's Baba sitting on the back. Everything packed up there. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Rosalie. We have Marcia now. Yes, Marcia.
Hi, everyone. My quote, true worship is an expression of devotion, not just saying prayers and making supplications. For you to worship me truly is necessary for you to have my grace. No bargaining whatsoever is possible in the receiving of grace, and there was absolutely no specific conditions for its bestowal. It may be given freely to anyone, whether saint or sinner, intellectual or illiterate, man or woman. Grace is just grace, nothing more and nothing less. Well, I had to do a lot of thinking about that one, and I'm saying I'm pretty sure I have God's grace. I hope so. And that, you know, there's nothing much more to say. I would read it again if you want.
Yes, please.
True worship is an expression of devotion, not just saying prayers and making supplications. For you to worship me truly, it is necessary for you to have my grace. No bargaining whatsoever is possible in the receiving of grace, and there is absolutely no specific condition for its bestowal. It may be given freely to anyone, whether saint or sinner, intellectual or illiterate, man or woman. Grace is just grace, nothing more and nothing less. MS Arani. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. It sort of leaves one speechless to receive his grace. That was beautiful, Marcia. Well, I don't see hands, so maybe that means I'm going to read mine. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to say about it because this often happens to me when I get my Silence Day quote. I think, huh? And so here we go. And there's an ellipsis here, so I'm going to show you where it is, and then I'm going to tell you about it. No one can possess love by any means other than as a gift. The giving of love knows no law save love, which by itself is the law which governs all other laws of nature. I'll read it again. No one can possess love by any means other than as a gift. The giving of love knows no law save love, which by itself is the law which governs all other laws of nature. And M.S. Irani. And I think just about anything that I've read in any of our book studies, it always comes down to this law. Love is the law of love is the law. God is love, and that is the law. But I was excuse me. When I first read this, I was thinking about no one can possess love. I was thinking more of human love. And then as a gift, and of course it's a gift to receive human love too. I was curious about the ellipsis, so I did some research and I found where this quotation comes from. And it actually appears in Listen Humanity. And it's from something Baba gave out on the first day. It's in the chapter called The First Day. And this is the quotation with the omitted words. No one can possess love by any means other than as a gift, but I give love to self and accept it myself. The giving of love knows no law save love, which by itself is the law which governs all other laws of nature. And so to me, when there's love, there's Baba, there's God. And when the love is there, it's a gift. And I can say in my life, there are 2 times when I think I felt the gift of his love, and it was in relationships where there had been something difficult in my heart. It was not working well. And these were close relationships. And over time, at some point, Baba put love in my heart in these 2 occasions. And that love never changed after I felt it from him. And I didn't even think of it as being from him. It was just there. And I can only understand it as his gift to me. And so I think truly when there's love, it's always a gift from Baba. Even in human love, he's giving us something there. And it truly is the law of the universe. Jai Baba.
Diane, can you read that again, please?
Okay, I'll read it as it was sent out. No one can possess love by any means other than as a gift. The giving of love knows no law save love, which by itself is the law which governs all other laws of nature. And it occurs in a larger something that Baba gave out about love. I feel moved to read it, so I think I will. Okay, so I'm reading from Listen Humanity, The First Day, and there's a lot that Baba gave out, but I'm going to be reading the part that strikes me as the beginning. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. Love is meant to be experienced and not disclosed. What is displayed is not love. Love is a secret, which is meant to remain a secret save for the one who receives it and keeps it. To love Baba in hopes of achieving health, wealth, betterment of family and friends, etc., is to love all these and not Baba. Such love cannot be compared with that of Adi and his wife Rhoda Dubash, and Nariman and Navrojji Dadachanji and their family members. They can be justly proud of their love for me, which remained unshaken in the face of tragic accidents which cost the lives of their dear ones among my dear ones. As a matter of fact, Nozer Dadachanji has come to me as all those do who remember me while breathing their last. Love God and become God. I have come to receive your love and give you mine, as I have already said. If you love me, you will find me. Unless you love me, you can never find me. Do not think that you can never love me or that you can find no time to love me. I often say that I want your love. I mean it, because that is all that I want from you. Therefore, I always tell you to love me more and more. I have also said that you cannot love me as I ought to be loved. To do that, you must first receive the gift of my love, and that gift depends upon absolute pleasure on my part in giving you just a glimpse of the reality of myself. No one can possess love by any means other than as a gift, but I give love to self and accept it myself. The giving of love knows no law save love, which by itself is the law which governs all other laws of nature. Jai Baba. I see Meher Kiran, your hand is up. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, what a beautiful quote, and so touching what Baba said of love. And my quote is little different, but you see, because of what you did, I also went behind and researched, and I will read both the quote first and the longer context. If you cannot spend impressions, in brackets, karmic imprints, if you cannot spend impressions through thought only, then let the impressions be spent through desires, longings, and feelings, not through actions. The new impressions will be formed, but they will not be so deep. End of quote. I will reread one more time and then I will read the larger context. If you cannot spend impressions through thought only, then let the impressions be spent through desires, longings, and feelings, not through actions. Then new impressions will be formed, but they will not be so deep. And this was from 3 Incredible Weeks. And the story is like this. In sound sleep, the impressions registered in the mind lie in the latent dormant state. We will not discuss dreams now. They have been explained in God Speaks. What wakes you up from sound sleep? The impressions of actions done. These impressions are spent first by thoughts, then by desires, then by actions. So Krishna in his Gita said something to the effect that the impressions should be spent only through thoughts. Then no new impressions will be formed. If you cannot do this, then let the impressions be spent through desires, longings, feelings, not through actions. Then new impressions will be formed, but they will not be so deep. If impressions lead to actions, then new and stronger impressions are bound to be formed. This means that the first functioning of the mind is not important in so far as spending impressions is concerned. It is natural. But the second functioning of the mind which is generally called the heart, is important because it is the seat of desires. And unless the heart is void of desires and feelings, unless the heart is pure and naked, God, who is your innermost self, cannot reveal himself. Is this clear? Thus says Baba in Lord Meher, September 1952, Meherabad, the 3 incredible weeks.
Thank you, Meher Kiran. Thank you very much. Jai Baba.
So it gives me immediate idea I got is, Baba says, to be God is actually to be sound asleep while you are still awake, That way he also defined God realization. And now here he connects that. You see how consistent. He's saying, what makes you awake from sound sleep? It has these impressions that make you. That means if there is no impressions, you would never have even woken up from your sound sleep. That what if you really woke and there is no impressions? Then you are God realized. That something is really consistent there, to be awake while being still sound sleep like, which is disturbed usually by the impressions, is what he said here. Which means you to be awake without having any impressions left. And he gives how Krishna is saying, first consume all your impressions in thought if possible. But Baba also said, okay, go to desires, but never do in actions those things. As the first functioning is natural, because you are stored with your impressions, you have to feel, sense, or think about them, natural. But if you implement in actions and create the second, he's saying the heart is the second function which loads up all these desires strongly now. And God, who is the innermost self, will not appear in the heart because it's not empty. Thank you.
Mayor, can you read your quote again?
Yeah, my quote again. If you cannot spend impressions through thought only, then let the impressions be spent through desires, longings, and feelings, not through actions. The new impressions, okay, I should have read, then new impressions will be formed, but they will not be so deep.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Kiran. Yeah, what comes to mind for me is that, to see that your thoughts, words, and actions are done with Baba present. And I don't know why that just connects for me. Okay, we have Betty now. Jai Baba.
I just wondered if Margie might want to share. Margie Penn. Well, I'll just put it out there. It's okay if you don't. That's all.
Okay. Okay, well, I don't see any hands. I think Rosalie's putting her hands in. Very nice. Okay. Are there anybody want to say something?
Hi, I'll say something. Jai Bob, everybody. And I'll read my quote. It's going to be real hot here in Oregon today, so I've not been able to get in on this because trying to water everything because it'll be about 103 today up here. Okie doke. And with all that said, my quote is, throw your burden at my feet. I am the ocean. I will dissolve your worries. And then in parentheses, it says, sign on the wall at Marizod. and MS Irani. So it's very appropriate for me to throw my burdens on his feet every day. So, Jai Baba, wonderful.
Baba.
Yeah.
Could you read it again, please?
I'd be happy to. Okay, it says, throw your burden at my feet. I am the ocean. I will dissolve your worries. MS Irani. And I never saw this sign on the wall at Marizod, which is interesting, as many times as I've been there. So I don't know where it was, but yeah.
Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Patty, that was great.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's a real sweet one. I was happy to get it, actually. So I'm always happy to get anything. I frankly. Jai Baba.
We have Telly now. Yes, Telly.
Yeah, I've stuck around longer than I thought I would. This has been wonderful. This week, I lost my air conditioning in my apartment, so it's been quite an experience. But the thing that helps, besides just thinking of Baba, but the quote that was just read is perfect for my situation. But I also have the idea that I carry that what's happening, this is happening for me. It's not happening to me. And that's something I remind myself over and over again. This is happening for me, not happening to me. And I think it resonates for me as a soul, as a spirit, as a follower of Baba. Say Baba.
Thank you for sharing that, Telly. That's very important. Rosalie, Jai Baba.
I thought I'd throw in a spicy one from the Blue Bus time. Mayor Baba states, let the world see the dual show of destruction as the mercy game in realization of truth. Let the head be calm and the heart see free. Life is good as it is. Life is real as it is. Life is my work of realization. Meher Baba.
Jai Baba, that's a great one. Thank you, Rosalie. Well, I see hearts. Hearts are popping here on the screen. Are there any other comments to be made? Everybody satisfied?
I just have one thing I'd like
What
to
a
say.
question. Are we all satisfied?
Almost. I had one thing that keeps striking me as the readings come, and that is Baba talking about courage. And I remember sitting in Jane Haynes's living room one time, and she had just got back from India. And she said Mara would tell her, you know, she would take her hand and go, you know, have courage, have courage. And yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense then, but it is now. Because I see as life progresses how much these burdens come and how much is required of me to remain cheerful, even though life seems beyond the pale. So that thing that someone also brought up about Baba removing our defects of character. I also was at a meeting recently where we talked about defects and God removing these defects. And I don't know what, something tuned the dial for me into the right radio station, because what I got was Baba may not remove my fear, but he might remove my fear of this thing. And sure enough, that day, that's exactly what happened. So the defect was removed regarding this thing that I was trying to hold in a courageous way. So thank you, Baba. Keep, helping me with this understanding of your strength, of the holding on to your Dhamma no matter what, and keeping always your pleasure as the first thing in my mind, because that will keep me bringing it up instead of letting me sink down. Jai Baba.
Thank you for sharing that, Ruthie. That's true for all of us. Jonathan. Yes, Jonathan. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. I've been listening, and then this is one that's made a big impact on me. It was also from Narina's articles in the Blue Bus, but it has to do, in one sense, as a taste of mononash, because the mind is always reacting and judging and tends to criticize. And in this, Baba says, do no more criticize the other one, who in I is doing the show in self-realization in the way I am doing it in him or her, in him or in her. Be real in your thought. Be true to your own I as self, as mind and being. Do in no way say I and think of I indivisible as you. Do in no way say an I indivisible you as I, as one, as human creature that is realized. That gets a little abstruse at the end, but the first, he begins by saying, see in you me, do in I you as me. Because a number of the quotes have talked about that we all are just Baba doing through us whatever he does. And it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad, it just matters whether we're honest and natural. And he orchestrates what will bring about self-realization for us as a gift. So to me, it's a real comfort to, because so often the mind expresses itself as judgment or criticism or reaction to something, and just to accept the world as it is. Jai Baba.
Could you read the whole quote again, Jonathan?
Well, I picked it up with a little ellipsis. I'll read it all because it's see in you me, do in I you as me, show in you you as my one in I, as self, as human creature that in I has to know, see, feel the truth for use of I as me. See in I no one in self but me. Do no more criticize the other one, who in I is doing the show in self-realization, in the way I am doing it in him or in her. Be real in your thought. Be true to your own I as self, as mind in being. Do in no way say I and think of I indivisible as you. Do in no way see in I indivisible you as I, as one, as human creature that is realized. It just, we're not there, but it's such a useful thing. to let go of criticism and accept things as they are. Jai Baba.
I have to add one thing about the blue bus time. Baba's words from Baba. This blue bus, not this one, but this is the representation. This blue bus is like the chariot was to Krishna. And after my manifestation, all will worship it. Not this blue bus, but I don't want to be mobbed.
Thank you.
Nice morning, Jai Baba.
That was beautiful. Thank you. We have Marilyn. Yes, Marilyn.
Okay. This is something that I read in the morning RT, not this morning's, but a different morning. And it's from Baba. It's his words about harmony. And so I thought it was a nice, beautiful quote from Baba. And I'd like to share it because for Silence Day, it's certainly something to ponder and think about. So, Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Baba says, I want you to be yourself. I do not want you to change your natures, but to please me by discipline and continuing of the same. Try and learn with all the varieties of human nature that I have created to live in harmony with this diversity, which is of my own doing. It is all illusion, which all must endure on the spiritual path. And remember that I want from you all a harmony in the midst of diversity, not a harmony born of uniformity. In such a harmony, I can do my work, which I alone must do. Meher Baba. So thank you for listening, and thank you, Meher Baba, for your beautiful quotes from everybody and your wonderful words on silence.
Why don't you read that one again, Marilyn?
Okay, sure. I want you to be yourself. I do not want you to change your natures, but to please me by discipline and continuing of the same. Try and learn with all the varieties of human nature that I have created to live in harmony with this diversity, which is of my own doing. It is all illusion, which all must endure on the spiritual path. And remember that I want from you all a harmony in the midst of diversity, not a harmony born of uniformity. In such a harmony, I can do my work, which I alone must do. Meher Baba.
Beautiful. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Rosalie, yes.
I wanted to share something because Patty Curtis, I think she's still in here, but anyway, she brought the torch in. They used to run the torch for MRT. They run it from Baba's bedroom at Marazad, and they'd run it, and it was it was like a 5-pound torch that was lit with gasoline or something. And so she actually she slipped in Ahmednagar. You don't want to slip and fall in Ahmednagar, but she didn't drop the torch. And then they continued on. It was a relay, so there were all men except Patty, but Patty brought it in to the Dooney pit at Mehrabad, And I was there. I always like to get near Mara to see, to hear anything, to, you know. And Mara, walking up the hill to the Samadhi, was so excited that a woman brought the torch in. She said, and a woman brought the torch in. I mean, really excited, you know, and it was just such a grace. But I also think of the blue bus time where God only knows was Elizabeth being prepared for the accident in Oklahoma and driving that car. You know, I mean, she also would drive the bus in the blue bus time, and then I think this Advent, the uplift of women is so tremendous, and going from reason to intuition. Baba said women would go more easily because, you know, the makeup of a woman. And, but, you know, it's so beautiful. This such a treasure left. And Baba signing off on any time he spoke through Narina, he would sign off on it. And that actually, Baba wanted Elizabeth and Narina to print the Mayor Baba journals. And they said, but Baba, no one's going to read them unless you put something in there. And so Baba, the first thing he put in, he said he would put something in every time, was Avatar. So actually it kicked off the discourses, you know, to put a plug in. But, you know, it's the blue bus time and these messages that Kitty Davy was asked about that time. Scott McKay thought, fortunately, to ask Kitty, what was it like? You know, Baba speaking through Narina, and she says, "Ooh, we were complaining. We wanted to change the wording. We didn't like the wording, you know." And Baba said, I quote Kitty through Scott McKay, "Don't change one word. This is for the future. You are children. You are children." Because she wasn't the only one complaining, I take it. You know, this is for the future. They will need it. Anyway, it's all in print. So beautiful, such a treasure. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Rosalie. Patty put a message in a happy Silence Day message to us all in the chat. And Patty, if you're busy but you want to come online, I saw your hand up earlier, and if you'd like to share right now, you can.
You missed the tribute, Patty. Rosalie told your story.
Please unmute, Patty.
Okay, well, you guys are a hard group to leave. Anytime Bob is here and his words are being spoken, I read them every day, of course, and listen, but I did have my hand up, and my hand up was, you know, something came through about Baba's grace last night for me and my husband in relationship to not wanting to watch anything on TV that wasn't uplifting, you know, in the sense of what media and things are. So we get on Netflix and we're fumbling around, and we're not real adept at all of this anyway. And so all of a sudden I Can Only Imagine is a title of a movie. And I thought, okay, that sounds real good. I Can Only Imagine. Click on it. And it turns out to be based on a true story about the most popular Christian song praising God. And it is a lovely, lovely, lovely movie. And it's about, you know, a troubled child being raised in a dysfunctional family. And he has a dream and his father doesn't want him to dream. Instead, he, you know, blah, 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 and goes on. But it is, and they show the real people at the end. I mean, it is just, and we were just crying because there I was wanting to, you know, sometimes we have these Saturday night dates and we try and, you know, just stay together. And this way, Bob had just brought us together with him. And we both felt like it was just a remarkable a remarkable story. True, I think it happened in the 1980s, and but the song is still always and has been #1 through all radio stations, not just, and it's an incredible song. And you see and feel Baba so much through this praise, through this individual.
What is the song, Patty? What is it?
It's called "I Can Only Imagine."
Oh, it is the song.
It's the name. It's the name of the movie. So on Netflix, and it's about a Brad somebody, and it's a delightful, delightful movie. So if you guys can watch it, by all means do it. And then I just thought, well, maybe that's not about Silence Day, but you know, on Silence Day, we might as well praise him in all ways and all. It doesn't matter. He's Jesus. He's everybody. So anyway, and you know, Rosalie, thank you for that. It's 7 pounds to carry, and just so you know. And it was you trained for it, and then Pendu actually always selects the person every year and back in those years. And when he asked me, he said, "Don't tell us all." So nobody knew. And it was really a great honor. That was a great honor. And so those gifts, and you know, I think you all are talking about this, and you might have said this too, Ruthie. We don't know at the time what any of this means when we get these gifts in those early years. I mean, it has taken me years to figure out what somebody said and what they meant. And oh my God, it was so over my head. It went to my heart, but my head didn't even figure it out. You know, 50 plus years here. So anyway, that's just another thing that is so true about the beloved. It's his timing. And we'll wake up when he wants us to wake up completely. You know, he'll wake himself up in us when we're ready to be able to emerge into that oneness. And we can only imagine in the meantime. So, all right. Lots of love to all of you guys.
Patty, did you mean that he chose you to be the last one to run into Maribel?
Yeah, Pendu did. And he did it every time, every year until it stopped. And then I was the last woman also as a duet to run with Dennis McCabe. So he chose us then to come in together. So I think Rosalie is, I've had that very strong feeling. And I think a lot of us with all the women, Mandali and Mara and Mani and Goodheart, and how could we not think that Baba wasn't doing something significantly with the female archetype? You know, I mean, all of the intuition and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but in my realm, it's all his game. I think you were reading that. Somebody just read that it's his game alone that he plays. And Rosalie, I think you said that. And to me, that's just the fascination, the hardship, the love, the hook. I mean, it's all of it. He's just got us wrapped up and the strings are being pulled. That's how I feel right now. The strings are being pulled. And some of it seems to be enjoyable and some of it is very painful. So, but it's all for doing it for us, Telly. I mean, that's what he's doing. He's doing it for us, not to us. And I appreciated that statement because that's a beautiful way to see it. So lots of love to everybody. Here, it's too hot up here. I don't know what happened in this world, but it's just too hot in Oregon. And I left some flowers out yesterday thinking they'd survive it, and they all just went like, oh my God. So I'm having to pick them and put them in vases. So, I mean, I could show you my altar. My altar is full of gladiolas and roses and everything. I mean, I just keep putting them up, but it's like they can't make it to the heat, you know? God. So I'm prematurely harvesting things. So
let's see the altar, please.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it though. Just a minute. Maybe I can. How do I do that? Okay. Do I turn the camera?
I guess you got to turn the camera. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm in. Oh, okay. That's okay. So, all right. So, all right. So I've got gladiolas. I've got roses. And I want to.
You didn't. I did.
Patty, turn your
Turn your camera off.
Turn your video on.
Oh, in my video. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I'm video. Oh, I'm sorry. I see what you're doing. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
No, not me. Okay. All right, you guys help me. Okay, wait. Video.
Okay.
No. What's happening? Okay.
You could take it and stand in front and just,
Take a selfie with your altar.
right.
Oh God, I can't. No, it's huge, honey. It's okay. Wait, let me. I'll figure it out. I'm so inept at this. Help! Okay, Baba, video.
Patty, once again, you're bringing in the marathon here.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. Okay, help. Okay, I don't know what to do. All right, honestly. All right, well, camera. Okay, I'm going back to the camera. Photo. Okay, so then I have to do it live. What happens here? Reverse. Okay, I'm going to do
turn
this.
the camera away from yourself and towards the altar.
Okay, I'm trying to do that. Okay, here's Baba. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing.
Baba.
Here's what. And then down here.
We don't see it. It's frozen.
Okay,
You're
it's frozen.
Yeah,
Oh,
Baba's
shit.
holding those flowers just for himself, I think.
I know. Okay, this has gone too far for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh Lord, help me. Okay, all right. All right, here we go. I'm really trying to get out of here. No?
Now show your video. You got
Okay, so the video?
You turned your camera off.
Yeah.
Turn my camera off. Okay.
No, it's off. Turn it on.
A little, yeah.
Is it on? Is the video on now?
No, not now.
Your camera's not on.
I think you need to touch.
Oh, you guys really.
Yeah, Baba's
Baba
holding
loves
you just for
comedy.
himself.
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Comedy.
I'm coming back to you.
Oh, good.
Stopping
There you
this.
are.
But I can't. Okay, the only other thing I wanted to show you.
There they are. You see them. There.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, wait a minute. There's one. But this is what I'm trying to show you is, can I do this? Oh, Lord.
You showed us.
You see it.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Look
There
at
you go.
my
gladiolas.
goodness.
Look at that.
Wow.
Now, I want to show you this particular picture because Wayne did this picture. And I want to show you, can anybody see that picture?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Wayne
And-
took a picture.
Okay, what is happening? Okay, I have okay. It's a beautiful picture of Mara and Kitty in the mid-70s that Wayne took. And I always love, and it's Mara's garden, and I'm not showing it very well, but it's such a beautiful
Oh, it's
picture.
beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just remarkable. And
Wow.
so I always garland them when I'm garlanding, everybody else. So anyway, it's a happy household with everybody in it. That's all I can say. But oh God, I hope this all isn't recorded. Okay, please.
No,
All right,
we want it recorded.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
For comedy.
Hello.
Love. Baba is a
Hey, Baba.
Oh,
Patty, when you were telling the story of finding that movie on Netflix, I was thinking, oh, Baba turned the key for you, found just the right movie. And then I was just thinking, and I related that to my own story of what I was reading here and how, when Baba can turn the key and open our hearts to love, and it's not our doing, and it's just his turning the key, and for each person who spoke, that so many of you have shared a moment where Baba gave that to you, turned the key and made something clear to you, and all of those sharings are so beautiful. I want to thank you.
You're welcome. It's
Yeah.
Baba. Let us thank Baba, the true trickster.
I believe we're going to show this on Silence Day again, Patty.
Yeah.
You'll get an opportunity. We'll love it.
And he turned the key and showed you how to make it visible to us. So
Well, that's my brain with all that happens in my life right now. My brain does not work quickly right now. So, all right.
More
You're
than
among
once.
friends.
Like she did the run more than once.
I don't know.
Patty, you only did that run once, or did you do it twice? Twice. Wow.
Yeah.
That
Once-
same
once with-
year?
Once with
No.
Dennis McCabe.
Oh,
Yeah, once with Dennis McCabe, and that was the end of it. Actually, that terminated, and that was in 1989, and that's the year that's the year Mara died. So I understood the ending of that, but they did it. Well, I don't know the significance of the male and female doing it together, but you know, I have my beliefs and my thoughts about it. But the fact that it was right before Mara's last,
Men and women will dance in the street.
yeah, that was the interesting thing for me.
Men and women
Yeah.
will dance in the street.
Oh, yeah, when men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's move on. Okay.
Yeah,
Marcia
great.
has her Marcia has her hand up. Yes, Marcia.
Well, I don't know if it's related, but I got curious and opened up the wisdom of Hafiz with renderings by David Ladinsky and art by Silas Tavol and the Oracle by Angie Solms. Never read the credits. And I opened it up to 21, and the card says release and let go. Can you see?
Okay.
So if you want me to read that,
Go ahead and read it. This is from the Hafiz cards.
Release and let go. Climbing a mountain, one can gather many beautiful stones, but to fly, you need to release them. Now is the time to let go. Pull in the oars of ambition and let the river carry you downstream. Release all struggle and agenda, all trying. There is an old maxim that says, "What is for ye will not pass by ye." Have the boldness to believe this, and let the waters of life carry you in its current, buoyant, free. I thought that was pretty nice to read.
Why don't you read that again, Marcia? So we can hear it.
Release and let go. Climbing a mountain, one can gather many beautiful stones, but to fly, you need to release them. Now is the time to let go. Pull in the oars of ambition and let the river carry you downstream. Release all struggle and agenda, all trying. There is an old maxim that says, "What is for ye will not pass by the ye." Have the boldness to believe this, and let the waters of life carry you in its current, buoyant, free. So I thought that was perfect for today.
That's lovely, Marcia. Yes, I think we hear that sentiment in some of the Baba quotations we've heard.
I have a good one though. Jonathan wanted me to share it, and it's good. It's Supasni Maharaj. When men and women dance and sing in the praise of God, then the spiritual time will happen. You know, and I think, yeah.
You know, I'm feeling that our gathering is sort of winding down, and I have you know, and if anyone else wants to share something, certainly raise your hand. But right now, I have the nothing and the everything right here in front of me, and I have a marker at this lovely, lovely passage. It's not too long. It's called Introductions. As a rule, an introduction is required between people who do not know one another. Such introduction is not felt to be necessary when there is a give and take of love between persons, or hearts need no introduction. An affinity can be felt between strangers, a feeling of having known one another before. This feeling is because of their connections in previous lives. No one requires an introduction to me, for no one is a stranger to me. However, I am a stranger to most, and those coming and remaining in my presence do not do so without an introduction. As a matter of fact, they have come with many introductions, for many times in previous lives have they been introduced to me and have gone away and forgotten me and met me again. All these introductions are their introduction to me this time. Jai Baba. Jai Baba. I feel that I am ready to close right now.
Jai Baba.
And I'd like to ask all of you to join with me with Baba's J, which we will not be able to say out loud on Silence Day. But let's let his silence, as Mani says, draw us closer to him. So let's take Baba's J 3 times. Avatar.
Baba ki jai. Avatar
Meher Baba
ki
ki
jai.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
A question for trivia in the future. How many flat tires did the blue bus have in those years?
You know the answer, Rosalie?
No.
Oh.
A lot.
Countless.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Good luck with
Jai
fun.
Baba.
Robert.
Thank you, Diana.
Bye-bye.
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you,
Thank
Diana.
you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Jai Baba.